The Simple Path to God, discovering the way back to authentic faith. Father Spiridon Bailey is a priest of the Diocese of Great Britain and Western Europe of the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia, serving in England and Ireland. On this video podcast, he applies the teaching of the Church Fathers to modern life with reference to the Sunday Gospels. Here now is Father Spiridon.
St. Basil the Great says to us, it is natural to marry, but as Christians we are called beyond what is natural, beyond. And here he's not just talking about the monastic life, for to be married requires as much dedication and involves as much struggle as the monastic life. It takes dedication to be married, because when two people get married, God creates what we call a small church. They become, the family, a small church. It is a miraculous thing, and it requires that those members of the family live out their Christian relationships. St. Paul says, husbands must love their wives even as Christ has loved the church. Christ laid down his life. Husbands are called to put their wives before their own very lives. And of course both are called to faithfulness. Faithfulness that is more than just not committing adultery. Faithfulness that is placing their husband or wife before all else in the world. Before wealth, work, even their larger extended family. Placing their spouse first in their heart after God. In that marvellous book, Everyday Saints, there is the story of a monk who goes to an elder and says, how do you know what progress a monk is making in the spiritual life? And the elder says, when I see two brothers who have fallen out, that have argued, the one that is first to seek the other's forgiveness, I recognize is making greater spiritual progress. And so it is too in our married lives. We are not there to score points or to win arguments. We must always be the first to rush to seek forgiveness of our husband or wife, to confess that we were at fault before judging the other. And marriage is one of the great mysteries of the church, or sacraments. It is not simply a contract. In the West, the couple make vows to each other. They enter into a contract. But in Orthodoxy, it is one of the great mysteries of the church. And like all of the mysteries, it is a means of receiving God's grace, God's power. And as a mystery like all the mysteries, it is given to us by God for our salvation. This is its first and most important purpose. In the West, the theology took on an understanding of marriage first and foremost as a means of bearing children. Not in Orthodoxy. First and foremost, marriage is there for our salvation, and not just our own salvation. When we marry, we take on a responsibility for the salvation of our husband or wife, a judgment. We will be questioned, we will be judged to the extent we have helped or hindered the salvation of our spouse. We must take this seriously. This is the union that we are entering into with this other human being. And we grow to not only know that other person completely, but also ourselves. This mystery may reveal to us depths of ourselves that we had no idea about. And part of the cross that we carry when we get married is not only the truth of our husband or wife, but also the truth of ourselves that we discover in that other person and through that other person. This is the great mystery of marriage as we become one flesh. And in a world that is increasingly not only alien to the Christian faith, but hostile, For those of us trying to live out our Orthodox Christian faith, we must make the foundation of our lives first the church and then the home.
The Simple Path to God, Discovering the Way Back to Authentic Faith. Father Spiridon Bailey is the author of several books, including Orthodoxy and the Kingdom of Satan and Journey to Mount Athos. You can email Father Spiridon at simplepath@ancientfaith.com. That's simplepath@ancientfaith.com. This has been a listener-supported presentation of Ancient Faith Radio.